One of the things that I want to bring to your attention is that when I'm talking about releasing emotions and past experiences, the reason that's so important is because every emotion that is not coming from a place of love impedes your connection to your true self. So when we find ourselves moving into anger, it's moving ourselves away from our true self, who you're really meant to be. Okay? When we find ourselves moving into jealousy or envy, we're moving away from our true selves and who we're really meant to be. This is why it's important to release and not remain in the old emotions and old experiences. That's why it's so important. Because the more you allow those past emotions to build up, if you will, that wall gets higher and higher. So it's almost as if you lose who you are, your true self, your true connection to not only yourself but the higher power. And when you lose that connection, then you have to start looking for that outside of yourself. Okay? Which means that you have to go maybe to someone else to hear it, to feel it, to experience it. Where what you want to do and be able to do is experience it for yourself. So when they talk about in the Bible the cardinal sins, this is why it's important to really recognize and realize when you are experiencing these, to be able to release this, okay? Because you don't want to hang on to these things. It pulls you away. It builds that wall. It strengthens that wall every time. So you want to start taking those bricks away, and you want to start destroying that wall so that you can move closer to yourself. So for instance, guilt is another thing that will move us away, okay? Fear of not being who we truly are. Fear of judgment or judging others. Those are all things that move us away from who we really are and adds to our bricks of our wall. So we want to start removing those and recognizing when we move into those feelings, because that is part of being human, is experiencing those emotions. But the part that's not part of being human and goes into ego is holding on to those past emotions. Okay? You all were put here to experience love and purity and compassion. And you can't do that if you're building your wall. Make sense? So that's why releasing past experiences, past emotions is so important. And especially right now, we're moving into 2012, okay? And the time is now to do that. In the past, it hasn't been the right time because humans were so busy doing, okay? It wasn't the right time. But the time started to change probably around for you all in 1960 something, 64, 65, right around there, okay? And time started to change. That's when the new energy started to come in. And by 2012, it's here. There's not any more coming in. It's here. And that's why you all are experiencing much more confusion and commotion going on in the world at large. Okay? And it's going to continue for a while. It's like a seesaw kind of thing right now. It's going back and forth like this, you know. And it's going to happen. Man's not powerful enough to stop it. But at the same time, it's always difficult to change. But I think if you look around, you can see examples everywhere of the cardinal sins. Gluttony, greed, envy, anger. You can see all those things. Pride. They're all around, and that every single one of those emotions is so incredibly strong and being fed so generously that's part of the transition that's going on, the seesaw effect. Okay? Those emotions are being fed, which kind of goes against what the new energy is about, because the new energy is about balancing. Makes sense?